Alright, I had a bunch of fuses, but I didn't have any of that kind of fuse. Most of the ones I had were the old style. Go figure. So I just cut that section out of the line and spliced it back together. So I took that fuse out, and I saved the fuse holder because it will it might be usable as an inline fuse thing one day. But now I have my battery charger connected to these two, and you can see that it's showing that it's bringing the charge. Now, one thing about these wires reverse themselves, and what I mean by that is because of the nature of that plug. We used to use these kind of plugs back in the old days when I was a truck driver. I used to sneak CB radios in and out of work for UPS because we weren't allowed to run them. But if you plug those into each other, you reverse the wire because you can only plug that one way. So I've got the negative hooked to the positive side and the positive hooked to the negative side over here in order for this side to be hooked correctly. So what should happen now, and I don't know if I can set y'all up, maybe it'll stay long enough for me to grab what I need to grab to do this, but what should happen now is when I take this little gizmo right here, this little cigarette lighter, and I take the negative side and hook it onto that. When I touch the positive side to that little post that is sticking out, that should fire that up, and I should get a light on the back of here, and the little camera should come on. Now, you see that light? So down we have fire there. So if I hook that there, I have a little light here, and I have my camera working here. So what I can do is I can take this in the house tonight. I can set this battery up someplace out of the way. I can set this camera, and I believe, and Brandon looked at this camera and he said it has an automatic motion activator. I don't know if that's true or not. He said it did. If it does, there's a way to tell. All I have to do is set it somewhere and let it set and see if it stops recording after a while, and then see if it starts recording again when somebody walks past it. So I might give that a test. Okay, now this is just for test purposes, but I have my battery sitting over here on a cardboard thing so it won't be getting any kind of acid on that little table. And I have it all hooked up here and running over to here to the camera. And the camera is running and filming. Now what I want to see is whether this thing will stop. And this thing does this silly thing. It has a little light on the front of it that flashes, almost like it doesn't realize. It seems like it does it in the dark, because, well, I sort of say I don't ever see it doing that in the daytime, but in the daytime maybe I just don't see it because I wouldn't see that light in the daytime. Anyway, what I was going to say was that's recording now. If I walk away from that and I come back out here later and that camera is not recording, then I'll know that it has cut itself off. And if I then move something in front of it and it starts recording, then I'll know that the motion activator really does automatically work, which is what Brandon said it would do. Let's see, you'll notice right now that little light I mentioned earlier is not blinking. I believe that light blinks in the night, and I believe it's like something in that camera like has a light that lights up in the dark to make, I don't know. Anyway, I really wish it wouldn't do that because I don't like that light flashing when I drive it down the road at night and that light is on. It distracts me from my driving. So like I said, I'm going to just walk in the house now. We're just going to walk away from that. I'll come back later and we'll see if it has cut off, and if it has cut off, I'll move something in front of the screen and see if it starts. If it does, I'll know that the motion indicator does work automatically like Brandon said it does.